As Dwayne Wade said earlier in the day, there is a reason there is an elite pack at the top of the Eastern Conference race and a definitive tier at the bottom. Games like this are the reason. Given the opportunity to wrap up the Southeast Division and guarantee themselves no worse than the number 7 playoff seed, the Miami Heat again did the seemingly unfathomable, falling 122-98 Friday night to the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. As in the 28-51 New York Knicks. As in an opponent that had lost 23 of its previous 27. As in their second loss of to the Knicks, just as they have lost 3 times to the Brooklyn Nets, twice to the Orlando Magic and twice to the Sacramento Kings. How do you beat the 2017-18 Heat with lottery balls? And yet, in the how low can you go bottom of the East playoff pack, the Heat still exited the night where they started, as the number 6 seed, with the Washington Wizards just as inexplicably losing to the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks idle. Even with this loss, if the Heat win their final 2 games, Monday against the visiting Oklahoma City Thunder and Wednesday against the visiting Toronto Raptors, they still would be assured of the number 6 seed. The difference now is that with the Philadelphia 76ers defeating the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday night, number 6 in the East is now seeded to face the 76ers and not LeBron James' team. The Heat came out flat defensively against the Knicks and never regained their footing, even with New York, over the course of the game, losing Michael Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Emmanuel Mudiay to injury or illness. Instead, Damian Dotson, who entered averaging 3 points for the Knicks, closed with 30. The Heat were back to their regular rotation, a game after giving Goran Dragic, James Johnson and Wade a night off Wednesday in Atlanta to rest nagging injuries. That had the Heat with a lineup that sealed the playoff berth in Tuesday's victory over the Hawks, with Hassan Whiteside at center, James Johnson and Josh Richardson at forward and Dragic and Tyler Johnson at guard. What the Heat did not have was any continuity with their defensive rotations. The Heat trimmed their deficit to 10 early in the third quarter, but then went into the fourth down 96-78, trailing by as many as 23 in the third quarter. After falling behind by 21 in the second period, the Heat went into halftime down 63-50. By that stage, Dotson was up to a game-high 14 points for New York, rolling from there. The Knicks closed the first half at 9 of 17 on three-pointers. The Heat came out as lethargically on the defensive end as they did in Wednesday's victory in Atlanta at the start of this 2-game trip. Down 13 at one point in the opening period, the Heat went into the second quarter down 34-23, with the Knicks at .619 from the field over the first 12 minutes. And that was with Beasley helped back to the New York locker room 18 seconds with a knee contusion. Trey Burke, experiencing a career revival, has 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting for New York in the first quarter. It was the fourth and final game of the series and the Heat's final road game of the regular. The Heat lost the first meeting 115-86 November 29 at Madison Square Garden, won 107-103 in overtime January 5 at American Airlines Arena and then defeated the visiting Knicks 119-98 March 21 at home. And then this. The Heat were seeking to win the series for the 4th time in the past 5 years, after going 1-2 against the Knicks last. The Heat entered having lost their previous 2 visits to Madison Square Garden after winning their previous 5. The Heat were coming off Wednesday's 115-86 victory in Atlanta, their most lopsided victory of the year. The Knicks were coming off Tuesday's 97-73 loss to the Magic, which extended the losing streak to 4 and made it 6 losses in their previous 7 games. Caption E. Winderman at sunsentinel.com. Follow him at twitter.com/IraHeatB, to facebook.com/ira.winderman. For daily Heat mailbag, go to sun-sentinel.com/askira.